at this one. We've only known about it less than a generation because it lives in the absolute frozen bottom of the abyssal plain of the ocean. Yes, it's an animal. It eats plankton by digesting them with its skin. Like if you were turned inside out with your intestinal lining for a skin, eating whatever hit you. It also glows in the dark because God had to give it something, I guess. We call it a ping pong tree sponge because why the hell not? Where are you going? Do you not want to see your girlfriend's lovely creations? I miss when everyone had a giant ancient family computer that required family know-how to operate. Like you go to a friend's house and you guys would try to play Club Penguin or whatever, and before you turned it on, your friend would be like, oh, before you start up, unplug the mouse 4 times and kiss the top of the monitor. But the screen will only display in black and white, and you just say, okay, and try to pretend their computer wasn't some kind of evil machine that smelled like smoke when you ran too many programs. Felt like this, but one time I went to a friend's house to play some games and she got super serious and said, now stay quiet, you don't want to wake the worm. And I was like, what? You mean you have a virus or something? And she said, no, it's a real worm that crawled into the PC. If you wake him, he'll start breaking the computer. What? Why was the worm so strong? Our friendly computer had Duke Nukem 1 and 2 on it, but if you open the programs, it would immediately crash the computer. The workaround was to open Chex Quest and beat the first level, and first level only, then quit the program. This would cause the Duke Nukem games to work normally. This 14-year-old boy came by the house with a lawnmower wanting to mow our lawn for $5. Well, me being a hustler, I asked this kid, why are you mowing lawns? He replied with, I'd like to take my girlfriend to lunch tomorrow and I don't have enough money. So I've been going door to door getting him business, and he busted his ass mowing lawns and sweeping sidewalks and made enough to take her to lunch and get her flowers. I'm so happy this still exists. Hope is still alive for the future generation and our sons and daughters. I'm impressed by whoever is raising this boy. Great job. Thanks to you guys that also noticed and pitched in on the cause to building our future men. Every Olympic event should include one average person competing for reference. I would watch every event if they did this. And here's our average Joe, who was just explained to 5 minutes ago how curling works. Here's Stacy, she's ice skated twice in her whole life, and today she competes beside the best in the world, and oh, she fell again. What a good sport! Look at her get up using the wall. There's no such thing as pepperoni in Italy, even though it is a corruption of the Italian word pepperoni, sweet peppers. The most similar Italian food is salame picante, spicy salami. Then how do I order a pepperoni and pineapple pizza next time I'm in Italy? Your pepperoni pizza is pizza con salame picante, and pineapple pizza is ho bisogno di andare in chia se e confessare ai mia piccati pizza. That translates to, I need to go to church to confess my sins pizza. Question for any entomologists out there, if bumblebees were of a comparable size to, say, a kitten, would they enjoy resting in my lap while I gently comb their fuzz with a Barbie brush? I know that I would enjoy that, but I hope they would as well. Hi, as an entomologist who specializes in bumblebees, my answer is probably yes. Many, if not all, insects groom themselves as a way to keep clean and keep their senses sharp, but in societies of insects, specifically bees, we see them groom each other, and colonies of bees who have more allo-grooming are typically stronger and healthier. These bees who groom others are integral to the colony, and we see grooming in other social insects like termites as well, specifically in relation to the queen. You might have more luck with a flea comb than a Barbie brush, just to really mimic the feeling of them and others grooming it, but I like to think that they would enjoy being cleaned and pampered. Okay, that settles it. Make the Giganto bee. The first ever champion of a pie eating contest was an unnamed 6-year-old boy. In 1916, he managed to scoff a 10-inch pie in 15 seconds. Legend! Why didn't his parents name him? Goodbye, high school, I survived. I will never suffer again, never. College, job, marriage, taxes, both sides of the pillow being war. I only just realized that Lupin slept through the entire train ride because the night before was a full moon. I looked up a moon phase calendar for 1993, which should be the time of Harry's 3rd year, and the night from the 30th of August to the 1st of September is a full moon. No idea why that never occurred to me. Can you imagine being insanely tired, half and try and recover in a train full of excited kids? Voldy, take me now. And then freaking Dementors get on the train. Worst hangover day for being a werewolf ever. It must have been strenuous to think of a happy memory to fight the Dementor whilst recovering from that, as well as believing the man who betrayed James was on the run. Honestly, Rickrolling is the best practical joke ever. Like, there's nothing offensive or mean-spirited about it. It's just like, oops, you thought there was gonna be something else here, but it's never gonna give you up. Which isn't even a bad song. It's fairly enjoyable to listen to. There's no jump scares, no screaming, no ill will. Just Rick Astley telling you he's never gonna give you up. I think that's great. You fell into my trap. Here, listen to this completely benign song that will have no negative effect on you. I wish this were true. There's a really good article about the problems inherent with Rickrolling here. Very interesting. I never thought about that, and now I feel bad. Hey y'all, do you want to see a dragon that I drew? Of course you do. Here he is. Suggestion, give Robert a friend. This is Mr. Wiggles. Suggestion, Robert needs a girlfriend or boyfriend. Is Mr. Wiggles his boyfriend? This is Robert's significant other, Gertrude. Mr. Wiggles is just a friend. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson were going camping. They pitched their tent under the stars and went to sleep. Sometime in the middle of the night, Holmes woke Watson up and said, Watson, look up at the sky and tell me what you see. Watson replied, I see millions and millions of stars. Holmes said, and what do you deduce from that. Watson replied, well, if there are millions of stars, and even if a few of those have planets, it's quite likely that there are some planets like Earth out there. And if there are a few planets like Earth out there, there might also be life. And Holmes said, Watson, you idiot, it means that someone star tent. I'm crying, help. Sometimes I think about the future of self-driving cars and how everyone I talk to about that future is like, okay, but in an emergency, we'll be able to take back manual control, right? And I usually placate them by saying, yeah, that's totally how it'll happen. But actually, we're already seeing the opposite. Cars with self-driving features like steering and braking that kick in and take control from the driver if the driver's about to rear-end someone or is in a dangerous situation. Because the truth is, computers can think faster and have better reflexes than us, and I think about this going into the future and how if the self-driving cars are able to share their data with each other and learn from the driving experiences of every car on the road, soon we'll have cars that are so massively experienced at driving and avoiding accidents and making microsecond decisions and partial degree turns of the wheels and being so precise that automobile accidents will be almost unheard of. And that's when we'll develop the most wasteful, hilarious extreme sport in human history, where a single human driver will go up against an arena of ultra smart self-driving cars and just by driving around recklessly try to corral them into crashing into each other. And I tell you, I would watch that sport all day. This didn't end the way I expected. Who else is in the didn't realize sheep have long tails until I was like 20 club? Undocked, unrestrained. The reason most farmers dock, cut off the tail is to prevent fly strike, an often lethal infection of fly larvae in the rear of the sheep. Without a very fluffy tail for fecal matter to accumulate on, fly strike is almost completely eliminated. There is a wide variety of similar treatments for farm animals that are entirely for the animal's well-being. Pigs get their tail curled and tusks removed as babies so they don't accidentally nip each other while playing or each other just walking around. Even a small tail nip might be fatal once the other pigs react to the scent of. Goats and cows often have their horns removed as babies as well, both for obvious reasons to prevent stabbings, but also to prevent them from growing in weird that can cause pain and infection for the animal. Chickens and other poultry, especially pet ones or hobby farms, might have their flight feathers clipped to prevent them from flying over fences, where their life expectancy is nil outside the farmer owner's enclosure. Somebody once told me, hands off my macaroni. Milwaukee pasta bandit found dead. He was picking up the gun with his finger and his thumb raising up, pointed straight at his forehead. 1 star, the free version is terrible. I'll go onto Spotify mobile and say, can I listen to a song please? And they go, no, you can only shuffle a playlist or an album. So I go, okay, and shuffle an album with songs I like on it. Then I come back and ask, what's this song that's not on the album I'm listening to? And they go, we added a bunch of suggested tracks to the album because we hate you. Now get these 6 skips per hour that aren't enough, skip through them, go fetch. And I go, okay, and then I go to settings and ask, can I turn off suggested tracks, please? And they go, no! And I go, I just want to listen to a song. You let me do that when I use Spotify on a computer. And they go, yeah, we just decided to mess up the mobile version for no reason. And so then I go on the Spotify help website, which is an oxymoron, and I go, can you get rid of suggested tracks, please? And they go, no! In fact, we're gonna frame you for and you're gonna go to jail for 30 years. And I go, why are you doing this to me? And they go, because we're Spotify mobile and life is a nightmare. Based on John Mulaney's Delta Airlines bit.